I've had such a good season with geraniums, and in my hanging baskets they're all flowering. I've got them on the ground, I have them everywhere, and look at the splendor, look at this color that it surprises me. So welcome back to my channel. I'm Alice and I'm the Red Soil Gardener. We love geraniums, and for those who've had a really good summer and the geraniums were everywhere flowering in those brilliant colors, I am so sure you would like to have those same plants next spring. So I thought, let's look at geraniums, let's talk about overwinter storage and what to do with your lovely geraniums. So what I've done is I've gone into my garden and plucked a few geraniums, and then we'll just go through the process of how you prepare your geraniums for overwinter. So the first thing you have to do is dig up your plant, as I've done here. And the second thing you do is just clean it up. What I did is I just dunked it in water and cleaned out all the soil and then let it out to dry. And so here I am with my geraniums. So what you need to do is, before the first frost, is make sure that your geranium are ready in preparation of overwinter storage. Because when you do see a geranium, the stems are very tender, and what happens is that if you do get the first frost, as we know through dormancy, is that it can actually ruin or damage your geranium plant. So try to do it before the first frost. So here we are with our geraniums, and uprooted, cleaned. Now what you need to do for overwinter is actually remove the foliage. So we're going to do that here. So let's take this one for example. So what I'm going to do is cut off the leaves. So we just quickly cut off the leaves, and then we remove the flower. Now you see, the thing is that once your plant, once the temperature and the daylight shifts into winter, meaning that a plant is not going to get enough light for its photosynthesis, what happens is that your plant will go into dormancy. Now once it does go into dormancy, your plant isn't going to grow. It slows down the growth and also the metabolic state of the plant. So as we remove these leaves, is basically what is happening is that once we do put it into under winter storage, is you don't need the leaves, because we're going to place it in a dark place where it gets no light. We're not going to encourage the plant to start growing, because this is the period when plants need to take their rest, to go on holiday and wait until spring. But as we know with dormancy, is that what happens is the roots are still working, because all through the fall, as it's been growing and growing in summer, but as it gets to fall, is the plant automatically starts storing its food and carbohydrates, etc., in the roots. So the root is still active, but basically the plant has gone to sleep. So what you've done is actually removed all the foliage from the plant. As we know, dormancy, we don't need it. And the next thing I would do is actually trim off some of these roots. And so what I've been left with is a geranium that looks like that. So I'm going to put these aside because we will deal with them. And I'm going to shove that all here. So the next thing I would do is actually look at the plant and see if there is any disease such as fungus, or if there's any place that you get rot, and I think this is pretty good as is. So that's the first one. So I will quickly also do this one exactly the same way. And again, here, cut off there, cut off there, cut off there, flower off. Okay, so what I've been doing with this one, and I thought it's a good example to show you, is I've removed all the leaves, I've removed all the flower buds, I've removed all the flowers. So now when we look at this particular geranium, there is all this dead wood. Now, why I'm removing it is because basically one doesn't need it, it looks old, and I want to get nice geranium. There's a bud. So here it is. Oh, it's fallen off, but we can still use it. So what I'm going to do is actually remove it, and again do the same process. I'm going to just give it a bit of snip here and keep it aside. Again, next one is I see a bit of dead stem here. So what I'm going to do is actually nip that off. And so once you've prepared your geranium, the next thing is actually to store it. Now, the thing about overwinter storage is that the plant we have to make the plant go into a dormant stage. So basically what we're doing is we prepared it. Then what we're going to do is once we put it in a carton and let it sit there, we take it into a dark storage. Could be your garage, it could be your basement. Here the temperatures should be at least 5 to 10 degrees. And what happens is that because it's dark, the plant doesn't grow. It just takes its rest time, regroups itself, and waiting for spring. So that's what we're going to do next. So I do have a carton here, and you could have many geraniums, and all you'll do is put them in a carton and then put it in a dark storage space. Could be even your cupboard. So what you do is basically put your geraniums here, like this. Put your geraniums in the box. It has to be a carton box, because what happens is plastic doesn't breathe, and it can, as the plant is there, you may get a lot of moisture, and we don't want the plant to have any moisture, because once it does have moisture, you encourage a fungal infection or root rot. It's going to be sitting here for a few months. So what you need to do is get a carton, or even a paper bag can do, for as long as it's some sort of material that does breathe. So all you do is put your geraniums in and then just close it. That's it. That's what you do over winter. And I wouldn't even be really bothered about putting a sellotape and sealing it, because also you want the humidity or whatever moisture in the air to escape, so everything is more or less dry. So fellow gardeners, that is how you do your overwinter storage preparation for your geranium plant. All you have to do is leave it in the box, and once spring does come, you take it out and just prune it down a little bit and introduce it into your outdoors. Now the thing is that, as I always emphasize, is just be patient, and also is that you don't want to take the plant out and then get a sudden freeze, and suddenly the freezing temperatures ruins your stem, your baby buds, and then you damage your plant. Just be patient, slowly introduce it into your garden from indirect sun and slowly into direct sun. But just be patient and make sure that you don't damage your lovely geraniums. So don't forget to like and share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to press that notification button. Also follow us on Instagram, DM me, I'm always there to answer. On Facebook, I always do answer every single comment, at least I try. And don't forget that we do upload every Tuesday, and really have a really good happy geranium day. And do remember to start storing your geraniums, because next season they'll also give you this abundance of color that makes you so happy. Thank you very much and have a lovely day.